Hey everybody, hope you guys doing alright. So, it's always been it takes two to tango, right? So what they say, and it makes sense, man. I mean, a fight takes two conflicting forces, and, a dance takes two forces too. So when things don't work out with two people, like trying to blame one person, it's like, one may be a little bit more the agitator, the instigator, or, more hell bent on, adding negativity to the situation, but ultimately, if it's gonna work out, it's a two-way street. I mean, if it's not gonna work out, it's a two-way street. Like it's your energies just weren't there together at that right time to fucking develop a good flow together. Um, so like when things don't work out, I try to really not blame like one other individual for a situation because it's like, oh, I had a part to play in that too. Like he was doing his fucking thing that way and I was doing my thing this way. It just didn't happen to mesh. Um, and I think the same is true with relationships. You can, like, the reasons why people do things, you never know, man. Like, some people might go and cheat and or do all sorts of other weird shit. And it's like, but, you don't really know what was eating at them to drive them to do that in the first place. Like, there's something missing in that relationship, that other person that they were with that they weren't getting, that created a void, or there's something that happened to them earlier in their childhood or in their life that created a void and they haven't been able to deal with, and they're not getting the type of satisfaction or the type of alleviation that they need, based on the pain that they're feeling in the relationship. So they seek alleviation elsewhere. I mean, there's so many different reasons why people do the things that they do. And for me, I know my drug use, that abusing kratom. Like, okay, there's levels to everything. So like these herbs I talk about, when you use them too much, they have a negative effect. If you use them just right, they can be really good for helping you heal and helping you get shit done and getting your life back together. I don't think you should be on them all the time, but if you're dealing with somebody who's taking, drinking alcohol all the time, or taking fentanyl or any of these other really, really hardcore drugs that can kill you and just fuck your life up and your body up, then you deal with it. Somebody at a very high level of that, okay, you might give them a relatively high level of herbs, but you want to make sure you have a legitimate pattern to where they're improving their life and they're cutting down. So anyway, I got a little off track, but what I wanted to say was that, so for me, I know, like, I felt like it's my fault, like this whole thing hasn't worked out, because I felt like the kratom use and the abuse of that has led me to a place where I don't even want to talk to people. And it wasn't just her, my friends. Like, I stopped wanting to talk to them. I would tell them, I don't feel like talking, I don't feel like talking, I don't feel like talking, and then eventually you just stop talking, and then you're left alone, which is what I wanted, but it really wasn't what I wanted. But that's where, with me and where I was at, my perception and the abuse of the kratom and everything else, that's where I put myself. Um, so I take a lot of responsibility for things not working out. Now, I mean, in retrospect, yeah, I mean, there's always ways I can, look at the other person and what they could have done and been like, oh, you could have done this, you could have done that, you could have done this, you could have done that. And it's like, yeah, there's some truth to that. Yes, they could have physically done these things and that may have had a good effect. But at the end, me being who I was and giving off the things that I was doing and just my overall being in itself, giving off that frequency, it wasn't the most inviting, it wasn't the most welcoming. So it's like, I'm not going to just blame it on her because I'm not in the right. Even if we were to have talked, I wouldn't have been able to communicate all that well because I really didn't want to, but even me saying that doesn't mean I don't care. Like, it's just like, like I've said before, like, for years, it's like, even while I'm watching movies and shit, like, I'm still thinking about you guys, and one person, more, some people more so than others, but I'm still always thinking about you guys. It's just I get into a state of mind where I just isolate myself and it's comfortable there, and it's like, my thing, my drug of choice is painkillers, and there's not much pain. I mean, when you're on painkillers, it's very comfortable. It's a very comforting feeling. It's not very disorientating. It's pleasurable. It's like being in heaven. That's why, out of all the drugs I've done, painkillers, opiates are the things that are the most closely aligned with love. So that's what I love. So, but anyways, I just wanted to share that I don't think it's any one person's fault ever in a fight. And as well as, like, when things work out together, like, it takes two parties working well together to create that good harmony. And again, it's not all about things being perfect, but about finding that good common ground that you guys can flow with together and continue to progress through life. And in doing so, you grow, your love grows stronger together. So anyways, but all right, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.